Hey all, it's another weekend and I'm back with another bookish video. And in this video, I'll introduce you to 3 such awesome books which you can finish probably in a day or two because these are well under 200 pages. The first book is Gacha Gocha by Vivek Shanbhag, which was originally written in Kannada and translated to English. Book was published in 2015. The plot is simple. There is a small family who lives in Bangalore and they have no money. Their father is a sole breadwinner of the family. Something happens that the father loses his job and everybody is confused what to do next. It's at this time that the family discovers a way to make money. I'm not going to reveal how they're making money, and they become pretty successful in that business and they accumulate a lot of wealth pretty quickly. And this changes the fabric of the family's relationships entirely, and how things turn out for the main character is what the book tells us about. This book is so beautiful that even from the very first page I was hooked, not because something very dramatic keeps on happening in this book. It's mainly because how beautifully Vivek Shanbhag is able to write, and how with so much mystery in his writing, a lot of questions are unanswered and he's a master at leaving things unanswered. The central idea on which the book revolves is best described in chapter 3, where the author says that wealth shouldn't strike suddenly like a visitation, but instead grow gradually like a tree. So this is a idea that the book constantly goes back to, on the how money changes people and how we should treat money. And also in one particular point, the author writes 3 or 4 pages about the ants which infest their house, right? So I was wondering why the author was suddenly talking about ants, and a couple of pages you kind of get the symbolism what the author is trying to say, and that was right on point, and that was like one of the best reading moments I've ever had. Like, it hits you like that, why he was talking about ants all along. And I feel if the same book was authored by maybe a Western author, this book would have been everywhere by now. So definitely pick it up. Up next is Animal Farm by George Orwell. George Orwell is the god of good writing, and this Animal Farm and 1984 are one of the 2 most celebrated works of George Orwell, and I recommend 1984 as well. So coming back to Animal Farm is a satirical, kind of comic, kind of fairy tale-list. Is that a word? Okay. That kind of a book on a satirical take on Russian Revolution and the Stalinist era of Soviet Union. So this basically talks about, the theme is centered around how political utopian ideas of political fail, and how leaders eventually get corrupted, and how a communist or a socialist arrangement or an idea is eventually corrupted and changed into more of a dictatorship or a totalitarian kind of a political system. One night, the oldest of the animals, a boar, gathers around all the other animals in the farm and gives a speech saying that we are all being exploited. The owner of the farm is not rewarding us for the work that we're doing. He's simply eating, drinking, and lying around, getting fat without doing any work, but getting all the reward of the work that we are doing. So, and basically says that animals should rise up, get on, overthrow the human beings and take over the farm, because we are working on the farms. Why shouldn't the produce be ours? So whatever we produce should be ours and we should be controlling everything. They decide to attack the farm owner, and he's soon forced to exit from the farm. What follows is the reader gets to find out if the animals actually gets to live by the utopian principles that they've laid down for their new political system, or the new way the farm must run. And I don't think this book is limited to Russian Revolution and the Stalinist era of Soviet Union. This kind of applies to all the political parties that is ruling us today, be it the ruling party or the opposition party. You kind of can draw a lot of parallels of how exactly the political systems, political ideologies gets advertised as initially, and how everything changes with some people coming in the leadership, and how even history is changed to fit into the political narrative, which is not far from what we see today. So very relevant. And for the grand finale, we have The Stranger by Albert Camus. Chances are you might have already heard about this book, because this book is pretty popular in the Western market, and everybody talks about Albert Camus' philosophy of life. This was originally published in French, and this is translated by Matthew Watt, so make sure you get the correct translation, because there are some pretty bad translations out there which will mess up your entire reading experience. So coming to the story starts with one of the most famous first lines of literary history, guys. So it goes like this: Mamen died today or yesterday, maybe. I don't know. I got a telegram from the home. Mother deceased. Funeral tomorrow. Faithfully yours. That doesn't mean anything. Maybe it was yesterday. So this is the protagonist telling us that his mother has passed away, and reading out the telegram that he has received from the old age home where his mother lives. So initially, what we kind of gets to understand how the character is like, right? The character is comes out as somebody who is not at all affected by whatever happens outside him, and is completely cool about anything that's happening. I mean, his mother has passed away, and people look at him and wonder, why isn't he crying, or why isn't he sad the way the society expects him to be? And this is one question that Albert Camus continuously goes back to. Do we have to live our lives by what the society expects us to do? And if we don't, does the society has the right to question our emotions and question our decisions just because everybody else is doing it? So that's one question that you kind of see Albert Camus going back to. And other than that, this book is kind of a very basic level where you can taste Albert Camus' philosophy. So that's it, guys. So I think I've done a pretty decent job summarizing what these three books can give you as a reading experience, and I hope you pick it up. The links of all these books are in description, and please like, share and subscribe, and see you next weekend.